My role has now, let's say, been promoted to interim CEO. Okay, saying that maybe still the probation is going, but all jokes aside, there is a regulatory reason why I have this title, because as most of you guys probably know, my role with Change has been more on the risk management, compliance, and legal side. And as we have two regulated entities in the group, then we need to keep these risk management and compliance related roles and responsibilities separate from the business responsibilities. And as we are still in the process of clearly distinguishing this and assigning this, then my role can only be, and my title can only be interim CEO. So welcome all.
Thank you, Marek.
Yeah, hi. I see a lot of familiar faces, but maybe there's somebody new. So my name is Gustav. I am the CPO here. My role has changed over the years. Today, I'm more focused on the crypto side of the business. So crypto trading, staking, payments, cards, these things. And yeah, that's what I do day to day. I guess that's, yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Henry, and I'm here at Change. I've been here for nearly 3 years now. And right now, I'm responsible for the tech side of the business. Carl.
Yes, hello. My name is Carl. I've been with Change 3 years, and I'm a senior product manager here at Change. So everything related to product on all the daily things that are going around it, effectively, I'm taking care of this stuff.
Okay, thank you everyone for the short overviews, and let us then jump into our topics for today. And as promised, we will start with a very brief summary of the numbers which you have already seen beforehand probably as well, and then jump into the questions that you sent.
Yes, so dear investors, dear members of the Change community, once again, really happy to announce that in Q1, Change had positive cash flows on a consolidated basis, meaning that the cash that was flowing into Change Group and its subsidiaries was higher than the outflows. And maybe needless to mention that this is not taking into account the flows related to customer funds, because as per regulation, these need to be completely segregated. So this means that we as a team have achieved one of the big goals that we set for ourselves for 2024. Of course, there are other goals as well related to profitability. But once again, I don't want to undermine that this is a big achievement, taking into account the turbulent second half of 2023. And once again, please note that cash flow and the bottom line profitability are not the same things. For example, the big difference could already come from the accounting perspective that is related to depreciation and amortization. For us, it is mainly related to intellectual property, because the things that I just mentioned don't affect the cash flows, but impact the bottom line, once again, from the accounting perspective. Yeah, although we have seen market tailwind that we also expected, if you read the update regarding Q4, I would still like to emphasize that it is a big step forward when we look at what challenges we were facing in the second half of last year and also in the beginning of this year. So I feel that the whole team has deserved great applause from that point of view. You can see the key metrics on the slide. So quickly going over these once again. In Q1, Change on a consolidated basis made a revenue a bit over 1 million euros, which is the same record range as Q4. These are the record quarters since the last crypto bull run in 2021. This quarter, the revenue result came with doubling the trading volume. As also highlighted in the Thunderbeam update, there is no straightforward like formula or relationship between the trading volume and the revenue because of the composition of the leveraged trading part. So for example, what comes to our current derivatives trading, then the leverage varies from 2x with crypto assets as underlying up to 30x with major currency pairs. So you can imagine this effect being quite significant when the proportion of leverage trading is bigger than with what you are comparing it with. On Thunderbeam, we were asked about monthly active users, and I revealed that the number of unique crypto asset traders grew almost 40% in Q1 compared to Q4. And because of sensitivity of that information, we will not anymore publish the exact numbers related to this metric. Funding remaining increased from 1.8 million to 1.9 million. And this extra buffer we expect to add to marketing budget because acquiring new customers is the biggest challenge that we are currently facing. Also expected to make a couple of new hires extra to the one that we made in Q1. So Alice will elaborate on the new hires, yes. But as the hire in Q1 was very close to my heart or my area of accountability, then I'm really happy to say it out here that we managed to hire a senior officer and head of enforcement department from Estonian FSA. So these positions change and the crypto side of change, not only crypto side, but also let's say all the highly and strictly regulated parts of our business very strongly for the upcoming regulatory overhaul and harmonization across EU under the MiCA regulation. So I'm really happy for that hire, and as I really hope the person is already delivering from the first day. So really happy. Also, we foresee crypto market service providers consolidating in 2025 and 2026 because we feel that the new regulation and the new requirements are a bit too much for the smaller players. So we definitely want to position ourselves strongly in terms of regulatory compliance, and if this consolidation really takes place, then look for great opportunities in this environment. So I think that's it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And let us then jump into the questions that you sent us. We didn't have a lot of questions this time. So then for the next time, we'll keep reminding this to make sure that you get to ask everything you wish as well. But then about the first question, would give a word to Gustav about the assets under administration.
Yeah, so I assume this is a question about assets under administration. Yeah. I think we cannot share these exact numbers as this is a business secret. But I guess what we can say is that quarter over quarter. So if we basically look at portfolio values end of the year, end of last year, and now end of Q1, these have grown roughly by 40%. Nice growth, but at the same time, we know that like crypto asset prices have also grown. So it's not that we've like been able to attract significant net deposits, but it's more that the asset prices have increased. And I guess if you try to put things in perspective, then back in 2021, the peak valuations, I think, was in October, November. Then we are quite close to the peak. So we are nearing the all-time highs of customer assets in euros. It's not like financial advice or anything, but I still personally believe we have another leg up in this crypto cycle. So I expect us to break the record in customer assets in euros. Not only break it, but actually, exceed it by like quite a bit. But again, it's just my personal view, not the view of the company necessarily. Marek, do you want to add anything?
Maybe worth to mention is that when you look at the composition of the assets under administration, then we saw a trend at the end of Q1 already, if I'm not mistaken, that our customer base were selling crypto into euros. And these euros were sort of waiting a new opportunity to let's say buy into crypto. So I would say that for me personally, it shows that our customer base is a bit more knowledgeable, meaning that they maybe even expected the market to calm down after the new all-time highs were achieved. So we see our customers waiting the next good opportunity to start buying the bigger names in crypto assets. So, but this is my own personal interpretation of seeing that the amount of euros or the proportion of euros has increased since the end of Q1.
Yeah, and we also see that many people who basically use change to buy their crypto, either it's Bitcoin or ETH, they send it out to like their own non-custodial wallet, like Ledger, Trezor, whatever. Many of them who've been hodling for years sent it back in February and March. They sold, but they haven't bought in yet. So I don't know if they wait for another dip, but it's just like it's interesting to see that from like let's say product like metrics perspective, we might see that like a customer is withdrawing the funds to like an external wallet and like leaving change, quote unquote. Then actually this customer isn't leaving. He's just holding his own crypto, and whenever he wants to sell, he sends the crypto back in. And you can see that these customer retention curves from years ago are starting to smile again. So they are coming back in, which is like really great for us to see, because over the years, we've had like two years of quite tough times. And you see, customers withdrawing the funds, and you never know whether they will come back. And I think now we've confirmed this hypothesis that indeed these customers are still with us. So I think that's also great to see.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I mean, if now customers buy back in and withdraw the crypto again, then we are doing the same thing all over again. So.
Yeah, and also I think the higher, maybe compared to some other retail crypto service providers, having so many customers using non-custodial wallets is also a sign of maturity, a sign of maybe our customer base being a bit more knowledgeable than maybe the average user of Robinhood, for example. Yeah.
bold claim.
Yes, but yeah, once again, this is my interpretation of the signs that I see regarding our customer base.
Sounds good. So let's move to the next question about the monthly withdrawal limits.
So I'll read the question. Yep, I can take it. Are there any plans to get rid of this monthly 15,000 euros withdrawal limit, either by lobbying to change the Estonian regulation or registering the company elsewhere? Yeah. So indeed, there is this very strict and very limiting, let's say, limit, yeah, in Estonian regulation. And, this has been criticized from many different angles. But if I remember correctly, the biggest opponent of changing this is the Estonian Ministry of Interior. So this clause is called something like the flight towards east or towards eastern money clause in our regulation, in Estonian regulation. And this has been there for a while now. And yeah, once again, we have not been successful in lobbying this out of the regulation, but we have put quite significant effort still into finding maybe a bypass to it by changing some other parts of the Estonian regulation. So the most recent action regarding this was that they gave input to our representative via Finance Estonia, the industry association, encompassing also credit institutions, banks and bigger players as well, who participated in the parliamentary committee on the 16th of April, so almost exactly 1 month ago. And the goal is to maybe not to try to get rid of this exact limitation, but rather give much more flexibility when it comes to electronic onboarding. And if you have successfully electronically onboarded a customer, then these limits will not apply automatically. But just to note and highlight here as well that there is a way to increase your withdrawal limit with change as well. For Estonians, there is an option to come to our office to conduct a face-to-face verification, and you can also request video verification. This is currently our ad hoc process. But there is a possibility, and we have respective process improvements already on the product roadmap for Q3, early Q4. So we tried to make, let's say, a second iteration to this MVP. So it's just a call to you guys, let yourself be heard. So once again, the more people ask for this, the more people want to increase the withdrawal limit, the higher will be the priority. Is it the case, Karl? Karl confirms this is the case. So yell a bit louder, request these kind of, let's say, verification methods, and then we will also take this into account in product prioritization.
So then for now, if anyone wants to increase the limit, then reach out to our support team and they will set up either like a face-to-face meeting in the office or a video call with you.
Yes.
Next question is very generally, what's coming for us?
So, Karl, maybe we answer this one together. I can start and you can follow up. So me and Karl, we basically, work hand in hand with all the crypto and the product topics in general. So we have a pretty big release that's coming up in a few days, hopefully. We're still squashing some bugs here and there. But basically coming right up is crypto cashback. So starting with the new app release, our card customers will be able to earn some crypto back with every payment they make with crypto. So if you use Bitcoin like paying at a store, you'll earn some Bitcoin back with each payment. And our crypto cashback is the highest cashback on offer in Europe without any lockups. So other providers might offer you like a higher cashback percentage, but in reality, in order to get this percentage, you either need to buy the token of that company or lock up some other funds or do extra steps, which are quite cumbersome to do. In our case, no extra steps, just pure cashback. We also have new crypto wallets. Maybe Carl wants to share more on when we can expect these to go out. Any day, is that correct, Carl?
We are currently working on getting them out to production. So there are actually 6 of them, which we are expecting to have definitely this week, and maybe a few more coming soon after that. So yeah, that's I think something that we can definitely promise to you guys. So this week, expect to have 6 more wallets in the app.
Yeah, so I would say like the big star here is Solana payments. So all these meme coins people want to buy. If you set up your Phantom wallet, Solflare wallet, backpack, you can now send your Sol from Change to these wallets and then buy all the meme coins you want online. So in addition to Solana, I think we have a few more, but we can share the list later. We also have more cryptos for trading in the pipeline. So we want to at least add like 50 to 100 this year on top of what we already have. When we look at competitors, like the benchmark is at least 200, 250 coins for spot crypto, and that's more or less where we want to get to. I think above this 250 or 200, it's already getting into let's say riskier territory, because these other coins we can also add are just not really well known, and it's hard to do like due diligence on them properly and all this stuff. But still expect more coins. Then we have some improvements for the Change Crypto web planned. For example, the USD prices and a few other things. Right now, the Change Crypto web, you have to basically have 2FA enabled to use it. Hopefully in the near future, we will drop this requirement, so it's easier to get in. But I can't promise on the exact date. And the last thing I have on my list, I'm eager to hear yours, Carl, is the business accounts. So we have a small group of customers who are using Change via a business account, and we don't have crypto payments enabled for these yet, which we will have soon. So if you are a business account holder with Change, you can expect crypto payments relatively soon. That's, I guess, the time frame I can promise.
Again, it comes with the upcoming app release, so which is expected during this week or early next week. It really depends on depends on Apple Store and the Google Play Store once they pass the review.
Carl, what did I miss?
I think you covered the most important developments.
There's deposits.
There are a few things that we're still working on, which is one which is mainly for the new users. So which is having the possibility to make card and Apple Pay payments before you have made your very first SEPA deposit to your account. So this is something for the new users, and then some security related and actually UX for customer experience related developments that we are working on as well, which we will announce like separately those, but and don't kind of like make your experience in the app that much different, but it will definitely smoothen some of the things out that you've experienced up until now. So, but this is the plan kind of like up until the end of Q2, and the Q3 development plan or product plan is something that we can touch upon next time.
Yes, and as mentioned before as well. So like the main input to product prioritization is your input, the customer input. So let Gustav and Karl and let us know what kind of new assets you would like to see in the app, what kind of improvements you would like to see, because only then we can take this into account what comes to prioritization. So let your voice be heard.
And also one thing maybe to note, don't be shy by only sharing with us kind of like crypto related developments, also card, CFD, or anything else that you're like seeing in the app that you feel that needs an improvement or is missing. So just let us know.
Okay, thank you very much. So we currently only have 4 minutes left in the time that we planned, but I would propose that we still go through all of the questions we got, and hopefully you will have a little bit more extra time to listen it to the end as well. I think this one we already responded.
I mean, not exactly on the when. So the way it works is we first need to get these risk assessments done per coin. We just can't like randomly launch a new coin in the app. It needs to go through a procedure. So once this is done, like adding will be relatively quick, because I mean we already have the infrastructure ready. We basically need to upload like new icons and new names and whatever. So that's a bit of work. But the biggest chunk of work is these risk assessments. And as Marek mentioned, our team is smaller now. So people have more to do. Some things are waiting a bit longer. And I think this is why these new coins have been also waiting their time. For example, adding new crypto wallets and adding new coins, it like sits in the same workflow. So there is one team that is responsible for these things, and one team can do one thing at a time. So once these crypto wallets are out, I think we can move on to these coin assessments and get it done, probably in a few months' time max.
Very good. Thank you, Gustav. About hiring more. So right now, as you know, the team is quite small, but all the individuals in the team are very strong. We work well together. We've been doing it for quite a lot of time together as well for most of us. So right now, we're actually not planning to start growing the team very rapidly. Within this year, we probably will be looking for just a few more people. So currently we have an open position for marketing specialist. If you know someone, I'm very happy to agree on a referral price there as well. And soon we will also launch this more general business development person profile as well. But again, once this is out, then we will share on our socials as well, and then you can take a look.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, while we have relatively high confidence that the crypto bull run is still having its second leg soon, we need to see it. I think that's one big learning from the past as well, that we front run the revenues and then it gets tougher for everybody.
Yes, so we have become much smarter, let's say it like this.
About Change Pro.
Who wants to take Marek this thing?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I am currently still the most involved, let's say it like this, in this new partnership. So I think that everyone in this call agree with me that the Interactive Brokers is a very big player. And often our learning is that we underestimate how slow these big players are and how many steps there are in any given process. So when we think about like our onboarding and how, let's say, not even our, but how a fintech try to design their onboarding, then we have a certain, let's say, expectation that maybe it has like a couple of more steps what comes to these big players. I mean, these traditional players, but it's completely off. It's not by a couple of steps. It's like a multiplication formula rather than just adding a couple of steps there. So currently we are allowed to onboard very small batches, and as we have this relationship in a very early stage, then on Interactive Brokers side, their team is hands-on scrutinizing the batches. And as I said, we can only do batch by batch and very small batches. Up to 20, I think, was the first batch. But on the other hand, these checks build trust and confidence between us and Interactive Brokers, and I would expect things to go much smoother in near future. And also, this is one of the ultimate benefits that we plan to bring with ChangePro, to make these onboarding processes and later on also the customer support experience significantly better than it would be with Interactive Brokers in a direct manner. So yeah, let's get this thing off the ground, and I can promise you that things will be much smoother, and things will happen much faster down the line. And we are working as fast as we can for everyone, first of all in the waiting list, and give you the promised access.
Thank you. In the chat as well, we had a few questions about this, so I hope it answered the general questions there as well. If no, then feel free to add more. This was actually the last question as well, so let me quickly review whether there was something that you added now.
Check the Hangouts chat questions. I think.
Yes.
She's doing it.
Okay.
Think about the question about company accounts.
Yes.
This is
Once more, so Allar is asking about company accounts getting the crypto deposits withdrawals. So it is coming with the upcoming release. So app version 3053, which is expected end of this week, early next week, we'll have it. So if you have a business account, an existing business account, you will see it right like it's in your face, and you can accept the terms and start sending money in and out with your business account. So it's coming, so just be patient until the end of the week.
Cool.
Thank you, Carl. And one more question about whether there's been any discussion of leaving Thunderbeam.
Yes. So the short answer is, of course, we have considered other alternatives as well, but there is no decision yet. So we have been in close communication with the Thunderbeam's team just to understand their future plans related to the secondary market. The secondary market part is the most important for us. And based on the input that we have received, we don't have any plans regarding the next 12 months. Because I would expect the community, the investor community, to still have the option to liquidate. I mean, sell their position if they need. So we cannot just delist and then without any alternative, let's say it like this. There has been a question maybe to go to the First North. This is like the alternative list of Baltic stock exchange, Baltic stock exchanges. Yeah, there's 3 of them. But when you look at the companies there, I would say that it's not much better than what's happening on Thunderbeam. So if I would go down the path to make any changes there, then I would definitely aim higher. Meaning that aim for a stock exchange that is somewhere in Central Europe or Western Europe, and then aim for a secondary list there. The capital markets here in Baltics are not working that efficiently. So I would rather tie this with a bigger plan to maybe switch our operations more towards Western Europe. Once again, maybe part of the bigger picture and bigger plan.
And then Tauno also had one last question about whether the process of converting CNG into equity has finished.
There is final reconciliation checks taking place. So let's say 50% of this is done, and the process went very, very smoothly based on this evidence. There are a couple of pending Nasdaq CSD conversions, meaning that there were less than 5 or exactly 5, 4 or 5 conversion requests to convert their CNG tokens into so-called real shares. Once again, I want to emphasize that the share units trading on Thunderbeam are also real shares, in that sense that if you would withdraw from Thunderbeam, you will end up with real shares as well. But there on Thunderbeam, you have secondary market. When you have your shares in Nasdaq CSD, then you need to organize your market or your deals by yourself. There is this 4 or 5 conversions to shares in Nasdaq CSD, and then the whole conversion is concluded, and we can call this chapter ended.
Thank you, Marek, and thank you everyone who sent their questions, whether before or during this chat as well. Very happy to see that you want to know more what we're doing and what are the plans as well. But then this would be it for today, with like a quick update on these future calls as the last point.
Yes. So from this call on, we would like to adjust the schedule. So instead of having 4 calls, we would opt for 2 calls to have a more concise and more concentrated information to exchange with you guys, and also maybe a longer time to prepare and collect the questions and enable you guys to plan to participate in these calls. So hopefully this will be well accepted by you guys. We will still continue making quarterly reports on Thunderbeam, so feel free to ask questions there. And our Telegram group still active. Feel free to post there your product related feedback, and also if there are any questions related to the business performance, feel free to ask this there as well.
Then thank you so much, everyone. Very happy to see many people joining the call as well. Thank you for the team too. And then we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, and feel free to share the recording with your friends and other investors who were not able to participate.
Yes, I will upload this on YouTube later today or tomorrow, and then you can find it there as well. Thank
See you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.